Good morning. Today is Monday, March 8th. And really for this entire week for Minnesota Studies, we're going to be focusing on our Unit 3 Summative. And so, really today, tomorrow, and even into Wednesday, we're going to be practicing kind of getting ready for that summative by kind of working through a topic that most of you are already familiar with, so that when we jump into the really getting into the summative beginning of next week, that it's not as foreign to you about what you need to do. And so let's kind of get into that for today. As always, open up your checklist for today. Once you do that, the warm-up is right here. And the warm-up is pretty simple. It's just viewing this lesson related to a fishbowl discussion and answering some of these questions. Part of what I'm having you do here is kind of think about, if we were back into regular school, what does a discussion look like? What are some of its characteristics? Could we even do this right now? And really what you should come to the conclusion is no, we can't do this right now. But how do we still have a meaningful discussion within this class that kind of helps us think about different topics? And so that's what we're going to be focusing on this week with our summative, is getting ready for a discussion similar to that. And so if we go back to our checklist, there is a slideshow here. It's going to be a little bit different than what we've done in the past, in that I have a slideshow that I kind of want you to look through today, at least a little bit, familiarize yourself with. That slideshow, once you click this link, is right here. Okay. And so our central question for really the next couple of days is, how can a discussion help me learn to discuss a topic with my peers? And a learning target is that you can have a thoughtful discussion with my peers by doing research and providing different perspectives about a topic. Okay, so again, practicing as you're going through these slides today, understanding what a fishbowl is, why we can't really end up actually doing that in this current environment, but how can we make it meaningful? Okay, and so that's what we're going to focus on for today. Our topic is going to be cell phones in a made-up school called Southview Middle School, and whether or not we should allow cell phones to be in that school. Okay, and looking at those different arguments and doing quote-unquote research to get that done and form our opinions. So that brings us back to our third point of the checklist, which is opening up the lesson. Once you do that, it is a Cami, and it looks something like this. And so again, this is your research practice. Next week, you will have something related to Minnesota Studies that you have to do something similar with. You're going to have to use text evidence, research a particular topic as a way to bring some perspectives and opinions to a discussion to help us learn more about it. But for this case, again, backing up, we're focusing on cell phones. Again, practicing this skill first before I make you do the actual thing. Okay? So it's about cell phones at this Southview Middle School. You're the principal. You have to make the decision. Read through these different scenarios or different arguments, if you will. Use text evidence to support your opinions. You're underlining information related to supporting evidence. And then you're giving your reasoning that describes whether or not you agree with each argument. So, it starts off with, yes, cell phones should be allowed, and it gives you three arguments about why they should be allowed. Again, you go through each one of these short paragraphs, you underline their arguments, and then you just decide, do you agree with it, yes or no, and why? Do the same thing for the other two, and then you're good to go. There's another three arguments here about no, cell phones should not be allowed in school, and do the same thing. Go through, underline, text evidence, tell me whether or not you agree with said argument, and then why. Okay. Once you are done with that, this is really your practice. Okay. You're just focusing then on, after you've done all of that, you've read about each of these arguments, whether or not cell phones should be allowed at school. What's your overall opinion, yes or no? And tell me why, using some of the reasonings that you gave above in this lesson. Okay. Once you're done, you can turn it in. And this might take you more than just today. In fact, I'm kind of giving students, today and even tomorrow to work on this. So don't feel like you have to do all of it today. Halfway done for sure would be great, if not a little bit more than that. But that's really all I have for you today. If you have any questions, make sure to email me or message me on Schoology, and I can get back to you whenever I have time.